I'm Kimberly.
I'm Dan.
And we are here with WDW Castle News, and today we are going to be sharing with you guys some of our favorite things to do in Disney and to collect in Disney. And these are going to be not quite the obvious things like shows and attractions, but more side things that we like to do while we're there.
Sure, there's a bunch of things you can do on property, not just in the park. Some cost minimal amount of money, some are free. So without further ado, we'll kick it off. And the first item we'd like to share is the penny press machines located throughout Disney World property. They're at resorts, parks, downtown Disney, Disney Springs, I should say. But you can buy these books at various locations, most of your resort gift shops, and even on Main Street. You can purchase these pressed penny books. And you can go online. If you want to be guided, you can go online and print out where these coin machines are located throughout the parks, which resorts, and where they're actually at. Or you can just do it blind, make an adventure of finding them. And I think that's a fun way to go as well. But you can see we've filled up a few books here. And basically, you're looking at, for pressed pennies, you collect your shiniest pennies so they come out nice and clean. And it's 51 cents per machine. You put in your 2 quarters plus the penny you would like to press. Most of the machines have 3 to 4 patterns in a machine, so you can do multiple at each location. We filled up a bunch of pennies in this book to show you, and they even have pressed quarter machines. A little bit more expensive, I believe. It's like $1.25 to do those, and but they come out looking very nice with the quarters pressed. And there's various characters. They're tied to the lands or the resorts that you find them in, so they're always in different costumes with different sayings on the coins.
Yeah, they're themed to the location that you're in, which is nice because it gives you a specific memory to the moment you were in, which is great.
And the books even come, every year they come out with different colored books, different designs.
Different sizes. I know I have a tall, skinny one with like Mickey ears at the top. So all different kinds of ones. And they have like princesses and just all different designs for everybody.
Yeah, it's a great fun way to just do something else at Disney and a memory to take home with you.
Definitely.
So you want to kick off our next?
Yeah, so with our next one, I think we'll go into another one of the more obvious things. We'll start with kind of the obvious ones, because the penny presses, a bunch of people do know about those. And that's pin trading. We both pin trade quite heavily.
Yes.
There are some people who are very, very into pin trading, and you'll see them every now and then at certain stations with their big old books. But we actually have bags, both of us. So this right here is the bag that I have. It's pretty big in size. It holds a lot of pins, and it's a crossbody bag. So it has a big strap, and it has a clip so I can undo it, and it's just so convenient to hold so many pins when your collection starts to get pretty big.
Sure. You know, if you're just starting out, you may want to just go to a smaller bag. This is my small bag that I carry in the parks. It's really convenient. It also has a strap to hang. It has a belt loop as well on the back, so you can connect it to a belt or a belly bag if you carry one of those. And it's pretty convenient, and it holds quite a bit of pins if you're starting out. But we can certainly show some of our pins here. And they basically just attach to pages in the book, and the pages have dividers in them, so they protect it from getting scratched.
Yes, and from clinking around on each other and all of that.
And
so
you can put all your collections, you know, in certain orders, or just mix them up however you like. I usually leave a couple pages of pins up front that I'm willing to trade, and then put my more serious collections and complete collections towards the back. I keep extra backs in the zipper and some extra pins that I may want to trade. Yeah, so it's a very convenient way. This is a little different than how the pin trading started. It was really originally started with the lanyards.
And, which I have one right here.
Wonderful.
So this is a lanyard, and this was my first lanyard that I started my pin trading on. You just can see, you can see the backs there and the pins there, and you just put them through, and you can wear it around your neck as you go through the park, which is super convenient, and I love this when I started. If you have a super small collection, just a few pins, this is great. A bag might be a little excessive. However, one of the biggest issues with the lanyards, if you really get into pin trading, is that sometimes when you're walking around, you know, they're jangling, they're hitting you, and the back will pop off, and you'll lose a pin, and you won't even realize it. You don't want to do that. You have to pay for these pins, and sometimes you trade up to a pin you really, really love. You don't want to lose it. The nice thing about these bags, whether you have the bigger one or the small one, is that they're a zip enclosure. So when you put the pins in, even if they fall out, they won't completely fall out because the zipper will catch them, which is really nice. So if you have a bigger collection or a collection of pins that you really, really care about, then that's definitely a nice route to go.
Sure, and any other option, if you're wearing pins on your lanyard that you know you're not going to trade, you have a collection that you want to keep, but you want to show off and have on display, they sell these locking backs. They're, instead of the black rubber Mickey backs, they're a brass bolt actually, and they go on with a little Allen key wrench, and you can tighten them down so these will not come off. They're stuck. You don't have any chance of losing them, but you can display them and feel safe that you're not going to lose your collections. So they're a lot of fun, and of course, if you're not into the pin trading in the parks, the way it works is you can go up to any cast member that has pins, and they are required to trade with you. You can trade up to 2 times per cast member with your collection, as long as you're trading them an official Disney pin, has the trademark of Disney on the back. You're okay to go ahead and trade up to 2. Now, in addition to the cast members that walk around with with lanyards and or belly bags that have them attached to it, they also have boards and books at certain locations. Pin traders down at Disney Springs, they have in the marketplace area.
Board.
Yeah, they have a cork board that they'll bring out on a tripod every so often, and I think up there every now and then they'll allow you to do 3 or 4 trades.
Yes.
So and various go into your resort's gift shop. A lot of times behind the register they'll have actually a binder it'll take out.
Binder or a board, something like that. Which is nice because those boards hold more pins than an individual person can, so you'll have a little bit more picking room,
Absolutely.
which is nice.
Great. Yeah, it's a wonderful option, and they're everywhere. So it's something you can do at your resort, when you're shopping, in the parks, and really it's something that you carry with you all throughout your whole vacation, and the fun never stops. You see somebody that's wearing a pin. People actually, other guests have come up to me asking me to trade pins, and that's fine too if you're willing to make a trade with them, if they have something you like. It's a way to meet other guests from other parts of the country, and it's just a great conversation piece. And you can also buy a corkboard at Staples and actually pin them up at home and display them as a big mural on your wall. It's a good memento.
Yeah, it's fun because it's something you can do in the park, but it's also a souvenir to bring home. And with those locations where there's boards, and even with the people, don't worry if you have never pin traded before. If you ask them to see the board and they show you the board, you don't have to trade a pin. If you don't see one you like, that's totally fine. Just be like, thank you, and then you don't have to give up any of your pins if you don't want to.
Yeah, absolutely. You certainly have that option. So that's pin trading, and it's a lot of fun, and it's probably one of the biggest of the collections at Disney, and you see it happening all over. In Epcot, when you first enter, there's a table set up outside their pin booth right there behind Spaceship Earth, and there's always guests that come out and put their displays out on tables. It's a really good pin trading spot.
Yeah.
But, wonderful. So we'll jump right into our next item, and this one's a little bit less known throughout the parks, but it's a lot of fun as well, and that's transportation cards. Disney's been doing these for quite some time, and I want to make sure you can see without the glare there, but Disney's been doing them for quite some time. They become a little bit harder to get as less and less transportation drivers seem to carry them. But what they are is there's transportation cards for all the different color monorails, all the various buses and shuttles that they have, including the Magical Express, and they also have the boats. What's neat about them is you get the picture of each boat, a description, what year they're released, and then there's always fun facts on the back regarding transportation or Disney in general, and they're just neat collection. You could put them in a book like you would a baseball card divider and set up a binder and collect them all. There's quite a few options when you're looking at all the different color monorails, the buses. They keep updating those, and there's various amounts of boats and shuttles available. So it's a lot of fun.
It's free.
Yeah, it's free. You don't be shy. Every time you get on transportation, you hop on a shuttle. Maybe wait till everybody's off the bus. Take an extra minute to stay in your seat, and then ask the bus driver as you're getting off, hey, do you have any transportation cards? And usually in their pocket, they'll pull out a few and let you pick 1 or 2.
Sometimes they don't have them, but don't be afraid to ask. They're there for them to give out. You know, they're not just there for no reason. They're for guests to have. So
yeah, and if you find that you're running into a lot of times where the drivers don't have them. That just means they came to work, they didn't stop at the transportation hub and pick up a stack to put in their pocket that day. If that's the case, there's transportation information booths when you get out of each park. In Magic Kingdom to your left, down closer to the docks, there's a booth. You can go to that booth, and as long as the window's open, somebody's sitting back there. Chances are they have a stack of these in the drawers, because that's where a lot of the drivers will stop and pick up refurbishments of these. So you can always go there and ask if they have any available, and they'll share them with you.
Definitely. Those are very cool, and it's a fun thing because not a lot of people know about them. They're totally free, and it's fun to have a full set of them.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's actually, I think I'm up to about 12 full sets right now. We shared them with family. I had some folks that in the family that don't get to Disney that often, and they made little gifts. I put them in a binder and labeled them, and they love it. They added it to their Disney collection.
Yeah, it's a very cool gift for a Disney lover.
Absolutely.
So moving on to our next thing is actually also going to be in the trading card realm, and these are the Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom. These, I don't know if you can see that. They are those cards right there. They're purple, and they are just different trading cards with all different characters on them. And they have different characters. For example, we've got this one right here, which is Mowgli's Swinging Vine. He's a warrior spell, the flying attack of 3, flying boost 2, and flying shield 0. These are just fun little cards that you can go and start an adventure in the Magic Kingdom, and you start at the firehouse, right? Yes. You can go to the firehouse, sign up that you want to play. They will give you a starter deck of cards, and it's a whole experience that goes through your Magic Band, and it gives you clues to move to different places in the park where there are little hidden gems and screens that your Magic Band will activate, and they will give you a scenario, and you have to use your cards, and it will read your cards to attack, villains or accomplish different things. It's so fun, especially for little kids, because, it is the magic of Disney, seeing all of these different characters and being able to interact with them and defeat villains. So it's a very cool experience, and the cards are so fun themselves to be able to have. And, when you accomplish different things and move on throughout the process, you get new cards. They will give you more cards. So it's fun if you're doing it with your family to see who's got what, and it's just a fun experience. It's really cool.
And to see these cards up close, I know the camera doesn't do it justice, but they're so colorful. They're great designs. You can get to see characters in various settings. You want to show another?
Yeah, let's see if we can have you see it up close.
Yeah, so they're fun, whimsical, and on top of getting the cards, once you get these, there's also out in front of the firehouse most of the time, there's a cast member that will have a binder, and they'll just walk around in front of that, staying in the area of the firehouse on Main Street, and you can walk up to them, and that's basically a binder full of these cards, and they're willing to trade too. So if you want to upgrade your card, change it out, look to see what they have, they'll do a couple trades with you as well.
Yeah.
And every time you go into the Magic Kingdom, you can actually, on a different date, you can get another set of cards and add to your collection. It's a fun experience. We like to do it. A lot of our trips will go in on the very first night we arrive. We like to go in for the flag retreat at Magic Kingdom, and we'll do a little shopping on Main Street, but we won't do the parks till the following morning. We really want to start fresh. But that evening, we may grab a deck of cards, stay on Main Street, and start the interactive progress and have a little bit of fun with it.
Yeah. It's another thing that is so fun. You can do it in the park, but it's also a souvenir because you're bringing home the cards, and it's free, which is just so cool that Disney offers certain things like this, like the transportation cards, like the wizard cards, that are free items for people to take home. And in the shops, like in Disney World, you can buy a board game. You have to purchase it, but the board game uses these cards, and it comes with cards to begin with. But if you collect these in the park doing the adventure, then all the cards that you have, you can then add to your deck for the board game at home, which is very cool. Yeah. It's a very fun concept that you can get free cards to add to your game.
Sure, you start that adventure in the park, and then you get to bring it home with you on a board version, and it's just a lot of fun waiting for your next trip to go back. It's great.
Exactly.
Great. So, you want to take us into the next item?
Sure.
Or is it my turn?
It's your turn.
Okay. All right. So we'll jump into, actually, here's a simple one. your magic bands. People don't think of collecting these, but you're going to go back and forth to Magic Kingdom. You always have the option to use your same band and re-register it, but they're free with your booking. So when you book a new trip, get a different color. Matter of fact, since this one, they've changed the design. It doesn't look the same. So I have a few colors in this design, but now with our trip coming up in August, I'll start with another blue band with a different design on it.
Mm-hmm.
And when you order them, obviously they're personalized. They have your name. You can actually put a nickname or your name, however you like to set it up in My Disney Experience, and you can even change your name up so you know what date that band's from, and collect all the different colors and styles. And I like to sit them out with my Disney collection, and it's just something
it's a fun
free.
display.
Yeah, it's free, and hey, nothing beats a hidden Mickey.
Definitely. Yeah, and another small thing that, it's nothing huge, but it's super fun to do when you're in the park, is to collect these celebration pins. So if you can see, I'll get real close. So this one has the little Mickey balloons, and it says I'm celebrating, and then it has space at the bottom, so you can write in whatever it is that you're celebrating with a Sharpie marker. The cast members will do that for you. So if you're celebrating, your birthday, your whatever, they can write that in for you. But they also have other ones that say, like, my birthday, or whatever the case may be. Here's another one that we have.
This is a happily ever after.
So that's for, like, anniversary?
Yeah, wedding anniversary.
Or just married.
Yeah, absolutely. They're really neat. They have birthday ones, anniversary ones, just married. They have
celebrating, if it's just general celebration that they don't have a pin for, like a graduation or something like that. These are free if you go to any of the counters, really. They have them at the hotel.
Yeah.
They have them at, like, the customer service. They have them at retail.
If you're ever in the parks and you're running into a situation where they don't have it, you can always go to the guest services, which is always pretty much at each park. It's pretty much to the left when you walk in the park. There's always a guest service counter. You can go up to guest services, and they have tons of them there. That's one of the restocking areas where the other retailers will go and get them if they run short. So you're always going to find what you need at the guest services location. Another helpful hint when you get these, a lot of cast members will carry around a roll of Scotch tape with them. So right after they write on the marker, you want to grab it and go, but if it's not quite dry yet, they can smear a little. So cast members will actually have some Scotch tape with them, and in guest services they have rolls of Scotch tape, but they'll actually put that right over it to protect it so you don't smear it and it's ready to be worn right away. Especially if you see them in Florida in the summer, you never know if it's going to rain, if the ink's not dry. It's just a good way to protect it and bring it home as a memory.
Yeah, and this is a great memory. It's a souvenir you get to take home. They're totally free. There's a bunch of different designs that you can collect. And when you get this and say you have the I'm celebrating and they write graduation on it and you wear it around the park, all the cast members will say congratulations to you. It helps the Disney experience. It makes you feel special. It gives them a reason to comment and say something nice to you. So these are they're fun. They're just, and even other guests will comment and say congratulations. It's just a fun thing to add to your vacation.
Yeah, it's a great little option, and free is always good.
Yeah, free is great.
When you're at Disney, you spend enough money, take advantage of the free options when they come your way. Next thing I'm going to bring up is not provided by Disney, but it's something you get in your local bookstore, and I believe they come out with new versions every so often. But this is the Passporter's Treasure Hunt book. I'll hold that up a little closer. But this book is kind of fun. It sends you on a scavenger hunt through pretty much anywhere on Disney property. It's broken down not only into parks but sections of the park. So if you open up the beginning of the book, the first section is actually a Main Street scavenger hunt. And it'll ask different questions and send you to find those answers. Now the answers are in the back if you wanted to cheat. However, what they've done to protect them, I like it because they're sealed pages that look like a treasure book. And you have to actually rip the perforations to see the answers. So this way everybody knows that whether you cheated. Now obviously what you like to do is go fill out the answers, jot them down.
Bring a pen.
Yeah, and then you can compare, make sure you got everything right, and rip those treasure chests done after you've done your scavenger hunt. But they're great. It covers all the property. So even back at your resort, the All-Star resorts, all the way up to the Polynesian, Disney Springs, it just covers all the different areas, and the fun never ends. So maybe a rainy day, you don't want to go in the park, you want to just spend the day by the pool at your resort, do a scavenger hunt while you're by the pool.
Yeah.
Everything's in
Even in the food courts, they have stuff if you want to be indoors.
Yeah.
They've got stuff everywhere. And it's also fun because it's something that you can do throughout the park, especially if it's a day that, or at your resort, if it's a day you don't have a ticket for to get into the park.
Yeah.
It's something you can do, or you can bring it into the park, and whatever section you're in, if you're not someone who goes on rides, but the rest of your family's on a ride and you're just waiting, it's something you can do. It's just, it helps fill space or time, or if you're sitting waiting for a parade, just stuff like that. It's a good filler. It's fun, and it's light to carry around in the park with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to get you started, if anybody wants to go out and get the book, or you're on planning a vacation, you don't have the book, here's one for you to search. In Main Street in the Magic Kingdom, how many trains appear in the trains appear in the mural spanning the continent? In the mural in the train station at the Magic Kingdom. So go to the train station, go underneath the trains there, and check out that mural. Count how many trains are in there. If you find it, comment below, and we'll see if you're right.
Another thing that we have here also is something that is pretty well known, but it is a lot of fun, especially for younger guests, and that is an autograph book. Now, obviously, everyone can do that. Adults can do that too, but they sell these autograph books pretty much everywhere in Disney. The pattern changes. They have princess ones. They have all different kinds of designs and things. I always go for like a Fab Five one. But it also has this little loop at the top for your pen. And you can just go up to the characters. Wow, that's really washed out. And everyone will just sign your book for you, which is a fun little memento to bring home. It's something fun to do, especially if you're going to be going to a character meal, like a dinner or a breakfast, because then you don't have to wait in line. So it's really nice. But another fun tip is these can be pretty expensive, and you don't need to have one of these. You can bring any notebook from home, and they will still sign it for you. But it's fun if, you want to have a souvenir. This is a Disney memory. So I like these a lot.
There are a couple options of Disney autograph books on Amazon as well. So if you want to get them ahead of time, maybe save a couple dollars that way, you can purchase it.
Yeah, definitely. And if you buy the pen, because they make special autograph pens, of course, they sell everything. If you buy it and it runs out of ink, they will replace it for you for free. So do not just let it run out of ink and throw it out and waste your money. Make sure they fix it for you. So
sure.
That's something fun.
One hint when you're standing in line, if you do have a pen, clickable pen or one with a cap on it, a lot of the characters, because of their hands the way they are, they can't really grip, so it's best to take the cap off or click the pen open for them when you hand them to sign. It makes it easier for them, the line moves quicker, and it's
have
a
your
better
autograph
experience.
Open. Your book open to an empty page.
Absolutely. It's really tough for them to do that with their in character. So.
Yes.
Our next one is going to be another book that I like and I've enjoyed over the years, and that's the classic Hidden Mickey book. As you probably heard if you're a Disney fan, throughout all of Walt Disney property, the Imagineers have taken a lot of pride in hiding these little hidden Mickeys everywhere, from shower curtains in the room to markers in the ground to just anything you can imagine. They'll hide a hidden Mickey. As a matter of fact, one of the largest hidden Mickeys on property at one point is a solar field with solar panels that they shaped in Mickey that you can only really see from an airplane above Disney World. So it's kind of an interesting fun fact. But this book is just full of hidden Mickeys that are around the resorts, and a lot of them are built into the architecture, so they don't change. Some of them, as things are remodeled, may be changed up a little bit, but most of them are pretty accurate. I'm not sure if they've made a newer one than this, but there are so many different hidden Mickey books and websites. You can just print off lists to look for them. Another good thing is just don't get the book, or don't look at the book to the end of the trip. See how many you can find, and then see what's in the book in those areas.
What did you miss?
Yeah, what did you miss? And
you walked right by and didn't even notice.
Yeah, it's a great time, and the whole family can chime in. Oh, there's one, and it's fun. You get off a ride. Mm-hmm. In the middle of rides, there's hidden Mickeys. You might be on a ride that has nothing to do with Mickey Mouse, Ariel ride, and see a hidden Mickey. The one in the haunted house, and as you look down in the ballroom, there's always well, not always. They do change it up. Every now and then there's a hidden Mickey and plates on the table. Mm-hmm. Definitely in this book.
Yeah, and it's fun for the whole family because some of the hidden Mickeys are very obvious, plain sight, easy for little kids to find, and some of the hidden Mickeys are really difficult to see. So don't think just because you're an adult, it's too easy. They're just, there's a big Mickey, obviously. There are some really little, hard to find ones.
Yeah, definitely. They are. They're very, very interesting to find and a lot of fun. And we've been enjoying it for years.
Mm-hmm.
So I suggest looking for a good hidden Mickey book, or at least go out to a website, print out a list, and next time you visit, have fun with it.
Yes, and before I move on to our last item to talk about, speaking of hidden Mickeys, if you found the hidden Mickey in this video, just leave a comment down below the timestamp on when it popped up. Okay, so the next item and the last item that I have to talk about is a book right here, which has all the princesses on it. They have all different designs. I'm sure you can get one of these on Amazon. I got one from a Disney store, but they sell things like this everywhere. And basically what it is, this one is good for like 5 or 6 different trips, but it's a little journal to fill out on everything about your trip. If you get it before you go, it has some fun things about like how I got the great news that I was going to Disney and what I'm gonna bring. And then it also has fun things like best day ever, fun things I did on my trip, my favorite ride, just different things to write down, a funny memory when I laughed, all that kind of stuff. So that's really great for if you want to keep a little kid busy, or if you just want something to remember your trip. You just want a little memento. And even though some of these are a little more grown up, some of these are a little more kiddie, but they're so fun. And even if you just did this to go home and then make a scrapbook because you wanted to remember the memories that happened, it's just something fun to have as a souvenir, but also something fun to do back in the room. At the end of the day, your whole family can sit on the beds and talk about how great their day was and what you thought was the most fun thing you did and all that kind of stuff. So I really like these journaling books and these like little, it says My Walt Disney World Travels. These little books like this, I think they're so cool. I only paid $5 for this, so it's not bad. It's just something fun to do. And if you don't buy a book, just bring a journal. It's nice to remember what it is that you did. Yeah,
because how many Disney fans, they get home from their trip or they're sitting around waiting to plan their next trip, and you're sitting there and the conversation comes up, well, what's your favorite ride at Disney, or what was your favorite part of the trip? And this way you have it written down, you can share your memories with everyone.
Yeah. It's the little things. The little memories that like you don't think about when you got home a month later, but it was so fun in the moment. You want to remember that kind of thing.
Sure. I mean, especially at Disney when you can get just a magical interaction with a cast member out of nowhere. They might walk up and give you something out of the blue, maybe a special pin trade or just a fast pass or something that they did for you out of nowhere. And it's just fun to memorize that and have it journaled. It's just great.
It's so much fun.
Now, I know that you said that it was our last item, but
do we have another one?
Well, actually, one thing I wanted to mention is something that is free for the most part that you can do around Disney parks and bring home as a memento is, of course, pictures.
Definitely.
And your book kind of had some spots I see for some photos, and that just kind of made me think of it that you can't take enough photos in Disney. I mean, every time you turn around, there's a good photo opportunity. There's magic happening. The smiles are usually on everybody's faces, and it's just a great experience that you never want to lose track of. And we have thousands and thousands of pictures from all of our trips, and we won't stop taking them. So what I'd like to do in a future show is actually maybe review a lot of our favorite photo ops around the Disney property, because there's so many of them, and some are kind of surprising. You would think that a lot of folks would want to go to some of the more luxurious spots to do photo ops, but I can say some of the best photo ops are at the All-Star Value Resorts. The Movies Resort in specific. I think we should do a show specifically on that, just because there's so much photos opportunities and so much to discuss and review that it's a great area. But we can do a whole show on various photo ops, and I think it's important because a picture's worth 1,000 words, and from Disney it's more like 1,000,000. It's just you can't.
It's amazing.
Yeah, you can't overlook those memories, and it's important, and that's why we all go to Disney. It's you experience it for that week or 2 weeks, but those memories last forever, and pictures hold that all together. You gotta love it.
They do.
But I think that's our final word on that, and I think we can move on. But Hope you enjoyed the show.
Yes, definitely. So if you like this show, please subscribe and give us a big thumbs up. And if you have any recommendations for what we should do our next video on, please leave it in the comments below. And we will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.